Hello and welcome. This is Vanessa Goraulich, and today we're going to talk about the math behind Patreon. So, what is Patreon? First, I want to go through what is Patreon, who owns Patreon, how much money and how many subscribers does Patreon have. And then from there, I want to show you my Patreon. I love podcasts in Spanish, and I have been in Patreon and using Patreon since 2019. And I felt that this platform, I am so addicted to it. I love it. And today I just want to talk about it and tell you what I feel, what I like about it. I'm going to tell you the shows that I watch. And that way you can see how Patreon works. And maybe you might want to then be a creator and, have your own Patreon. Or maybe you want to, once you understand Patreon, you say, you know what, maybe I want to support my favorite artists. Let me just see if they have Patreon. So let's first start with Patreon, but let me go ahead and share the screen and let's take a look really quick of the Wikipedia of Patreon. Now, I first wanted to see who owned Patreon, and here we know that the company started by musician Jack Conte and developer Sam Jam. Now, when I click on Jack Conte, maybe Jack Conte or Conte, I'm not sure. And look at this. He's 36 years old. This is Jack. And Jack basically felt the need of having a space where he could just make some money out of his YouTube videos. And this is how Patreon was basically created. Here they say, and they explain what is Patreon. So what is Patreon? So according to Wikipedia, Patreon is an American membership platform that provides business tools for content creators to run a subscription service. It helps creators and artists to earn a monthly income by providing rewards and perks to their subscribers. And for example, I have 4 patrons and they range in price. You can have, I think the artists can basically put, I think minimum is $2 or $3. I'm not sure, because I don't have Patreon, but I saw, like I read it someplace else, but basically you can do like $5, $2, $10, $25, whatever you feel, you want to charge to your consumers, to put it that way. Now, listen to this. Patreon charges a commission of 5 to 12% of creators' monthly income in addition to payment processing fees. So if you add like payment processing fees and we put maybe like a 1%, that is like, between 6 to 13%. I'm not going to do the math for that, but you can see that when you are a creator, this is the price that you have to pay. Now from here, I want to show you how fast Patreon grew. And the project basically went from a musician saying, I see a deficiency in the system, let me fix it. And he just became a millionaire. Not only so much about the money and all that, which is nice, but the thought that he thought about something from his heart, and it just came out so well done that now a lot of people are there benefited from. So let's go ahead and read the history of Patreon. So in 2013, the company raised 2.1 million from a group of venture capitalists and angels investors. So in 2014, Patreon raised a further 50 million in Series A round. This is basically when you first do your IPO, the common stock, to put it that way, and not the common stock, I'm sorry, the first series of stocks after the common stock and common stock options issues too. But anyhow, continuing, led by, all of these ventures. Then from there, look what happens to Patreon. They say here, they sign up more than 125,000 patrons in their first 18 months. I am surprised YouTube did not think of this before, especially that we all create things in YouTube. So I felt like this guy was kind of like a Facebook thinker, he's like, well, how can I make this and capitalize it? Love it. And then from here, look at this. In January 2017, Patreon announced that it had sent over 100,000 million to creators since its inception. Obviously now, I think like everyone that I that I can talk, and I said like, oh, do you like Patreon? Most people say like, oh, I like Patreon. I feel like Patreon is becoming a good way, especially now with the pandemic, that now everything is virtual. And if you want to create content, it's great. I feel it's great. Now, let's talk about the business model. And then we say that they charge between 5 to 12%. We talk about that. And this is the stats as of May 2017, the average pledge pay patron was around $12, and a new patron pledge to a creator every 5.5 seconds. Wow. Let me go ahead and now show you my Patreon. I got rid of my Hulu. I only have Netflix and YouTube Premium. Netflix and YouTube Premium. Yes, that's it. Oh, and I have Amazon Prime because obviously it's like you need to have water and Amazon Prime. It's awful to say that, but yes. However, during the pandemic, I was like, I don't want to, watch more TV anymore. And I just want to actually I want to listen, and I want to listen now something different, maybe something in Spanish. And this is the best thing that I found, Patreon. So then let me show you my Patreon. So my Patreon basically is for podcasters, and these are Venezuelan, and I love the four of them. And very active in Patreon. Look at this: 201 comments, 239 likes. I love it. I'm like, comment. This is my guilty pleasure. Patreon. Valera, which I love. This is one of the advantages to have the Patreon for LED is that you get like an early release. So at 10 o'clock, I don't remember the time, but it's usually in the morning, and everyone is drinking coffee, and he's drinking coffee, and I don't know, it feels really good because it feels like everyone is like doing the same thing in Patreon. Usually people are cleaning, doing things that morning people do. So I feel like the time thing was pretty neat. The other thing that I like about blah, blah, blah is the community is super cool. They are it's very diverse. There's artists, and there are, designers. There's like a chef. There's like different people, and it has become like a place where I'm looking forward to see other people's comment and to hear what they have to say, because one thing about Let's Patreon is that he gives the opportunity to the patrons for us to say like, oh, can you talk about this, and basically have like a brainstorming session with him, which I feel that's pretty cool. Nos reiremos de esto. I like them. This is the one that I consume the least, but it's not because I don't like it. I just don't have, I feel like nos reiremos de esto. I like it like a dessert. Once in a while, I enjoy them, and I always put like and the whole thing. But I feel that with Jose, this is like an injection of energy. You go like, and that's pretty cool. And because you pay the $8 per month, because he has different tiers, I was able to be in his podcast. He has like a contest, and it's like a whole process, pretty cool. And I was basically in his show, and this is all because I was part of Patreon, which is pretty cool. The orangutans. I love the orangutans because, what can I tell you about the orangutans? I just love them. This is a couple, Christina and Mike. And basically the orangutans, what they do is they talk about love. They are like, he's a photographer and she's also a photographer, but they do everything, design. And they are very famous because they have this experience where women go and, they can have really like nice pictures where they feel beautiful. Obviously they're very sexy. And, I'm not going to say that they look beautiful, and of course they're all in bikinis and stuff, but I feel that's pretty cool because that motivates me to be like, I gotta get my ass to the gym to look like that. So I watch them too because I love Christina. She's so sweet. She looks like a mermaid in my eyes, and she's so girly, and I like that because I feel that I want to be more girly, and I like that. I don't know, she's always like showing plants and flowers, and she just reminds me like a mystical creature. Like she's not real because she has like beautiful white hair. And then her husband, Mike Tan, he is a really very, very nice philosophical person. I enjoy when he, makes this critical thinking path and he goes from point A to point C. And he talks about things, everything from experience and from his heart. And I feel that I have been in a world where there are many scholars and they all speak from theories sometimes. But when I hear Mike, I like that he speaks from the experience. So I think when you have either theory or experience, you are a professional in both ways and you might come up with the same conclusion. Wonderful is when, you can talk about experience and then, back up that with the science, which he does talk a lot about it. And he seems, for what I listen, that he reads a lot and he's credible to me. So I'm gonna say that I like the orangutans a lot and I enjoy a lot watching their podcast. And I hope that one day maybe we can do a math podcast with the orangutans. That would be awesome. Talk about money, marriage, and anyhow, I'm like now drooling over that. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this mini podcast about Patreon, and I hope to see you soon. This is Vanessa Growlish, and have a math day.